Hey everybody, let's see what kind of dog culture stuff is going on over at Corpus Christi, Texas. Okay, we've been to Texas a couple other times before. In the description will be the links to all of the previous Texas videos. So now we're over in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we found some lawbreakers. Oh, yes. The Southside Bar posts a no service animal sign, and we got to have a look at these terrible lawbreakers. Yes.
Because in 2024, a quick Google search will tell you anything you need to know about what the access laws are. Brittany Cole.
A quick Google search will also tell you a lot of other stuff about dogs over there in Corpus Christi, Texas. Little Miss Smartass. We'll have a look at this playlist later, but a quick Google search will tell you some things. So, yeah, you're right.
Chomp is talking about the Americans with Disability Act, a law broken when a Southside Corpus Christi bar recently posted a sign on the front door reading "No animals, pets, or service."
So they broke a law by posting a sign? Wow. So let's go look at this place. Let's look at this place in Corpus Christi that they feel the need to attack. This is called Dewey's Beer Garden. So this looks like a really interesting place. I'm over here on their Facebook page right now, scrolling around. So they do something called the Chili Smackdown. So the supporters, they get to cook chili. How cool is that? They get to cook chili. And look at this. They get to serve the chili to their people. So they got napkins, beers, a solo cup. They got a crock pot. These are the judges. And the judges enjoying the chili. So why do we need to attack these people just because they don't want dogs on their property? Like, this seems like a good community kind of place. Notice what they say here. Our brave men and women of this country. So this is a military veteran kind of place. This seems pretty awesome. I would love to participate in something like this. You just pay a fee and then you get to come on their patio and sample all the different chilies, and then you get to judge which one you like the best, and you get to have an awesome homemade meal. And so maybe they just don't want dogs there. Maybe dogs running around trying to get the chili. Maybe the raw ingredients from the chili isn't good for the dogs. They may have a bunch of reasons to not want dogs on their property. Why can't we consider that? These people seem like an awesome congregation of decent people supporting each other, learning how to cook chili, enjoying chili together. Seems great to me.
Animals, love them at home, not the bar. But you can't just automatically refuse a service animal and their handler just because you don't want them there. Cope as many times.
But what about the reasons for not wanting them there? You see, that's the whole thing. Maybe they have a legitimate reason. Why don't we get to talk about that?
Titles: a therapist, personal trainer, massage therapist, and the owner of a service animal.
Okay, so this lady has a bunch of job titles: massage therapist, yada yada yada. Well, maybe that bar, maybe they also have a lot of job titles. Perhaps the food they serve at that bar has to be cooked to a certain degree. Perhaps the beer they serve at that bar has to go through rigorous standards of the Food and Drug Administration. They consider they're considering all of these supposed job descriptions of this person, but what about the job descriptions of the people that operate that bar?
Pixie, her seeing eye dog.
And the ADA defines a service animal as an animal that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for people with disabilities.
Culp has retinitis pigmentosa and has been blind since childhood.
Okay, so here's the whole thing. Does this person even go to that bar? They never tell us. They're just using this whole thing about the bar having a sign that they don't want dogs there to showcase a supposed benefit that this woman has from dogs.
I've had her since 2018, so 6 years, and she is turning 8 this year.
When the sign was sent to
So was this woman denied access to this bar? It doesn't seem like she was. So what does this even have to do with this? They always use these cases to prop up a different case.
by a viewer, I gave the business a call. Hi, this is...
Okay, so they gave the business a call? Like, are they going to ask the business why? Are they going to ask the business if dogs have came there and attacked people or jumped up and eaten the food or pooped on the floor? No, they're going to call the business and harass the business.
Taylor Alanis from Channel 6. I wanted to see if the owner was there by chance. We were told he wasn't. I explained if someone sent us the photo of the sign banning service animals. I just wanted to make sure he knew that that was actually illegal. The employees said they aren't a dog-friendly...
Okay, that was actually illegal. What the heck? So basically someone took a picture of this and then they used this woman who's blind with a seeing eye dog who wasn't even denied access to this place to try and make this place look bad. And then they're going to say, well, that's actually illegal. Well, let's talk about this illegal part of it for just a minute. So remember this playlist I showed you earlier, and they talk about quote unquote illegal. This is Corpus Christi, Texas, where this bar is. This is an example of a bunch of the dog attacks that happen in Corpus Christi. Perhaps the owners of that bar are aware of these things, and they didn't want these things to happen at their bar. Animal Care Services outline rules, steep consequences following a fatal dog attack in Corpus Christi, Texas. A woman dog sitting dies after a dog attack. Perhaps the owners of this business wanted to prevent these type of dog attacks. Did you guys think about that before you called this business to harass them and make them look bad on the internet? Let's just go to these videos about Texas dog attacks. You can find dog attacks in Texas that are at bus stops, that are at places of businesses, and in restaurants. So perhaps that restaurant did not want that to happen there. Perhaps they wanted their chili making customers, their beer drinking customers, their disabled American military veteran customers to not have to be exposed to any of this BS. Perhaps, did you guys give that business a chance to tell their story? No, you didn't. Instead, you went and found a legally blind woman to give her sob story about her dog, a sob story that has nothing to do with that beer garden place in Texas.
Bar and service animals are actually allowed, but the person has to have documentation to prove it. Yeah, the thing is,
There's no official...
Yeah, the thing is, listen to the way they talk about this. They act like it's a terrible inconvenience for a person to describe what their animal does for them.
database.
There's no requirement for certification or an identification card or documentation required. They did this because they wanted...
So there's no requirement for these people. If you go to that bar, you have to show your identification. If you buy food at that bar and you get sick, you can sue that bar. When you drive to that bar, you have to drive a registered vehicle, insured. You have to have a driver's license. You have to have a car that is safe. Your turn signals need to work. You have to have good tires. But any fool can go into that bar with a dog that is sick, full of parasites, pooping and pissing all over the floor, and no one is allowed to question you. Dogs get away with all kinds of stuff. And so this ADA rule that they're saying the bar broke, this is a rule that puts dogs at deity status.
To protect and be respectful of people with disabilities.
They can't ask you, well, what is your disability? Because that's an invasion of privacy and that's against ADA laws.
But
Okay, so asking you what your disability is an invasion of your privacy? What's the big deal? Why can't you talk about it? Talking about things is actually very healthy. Being in a conversation with a person boosts your oxytocin, it makes you feel camaraderie. Why is it illegal to ask a person what their disability is? And now they're talking about we can't invade a person's privacy by asking them. Are you kidding me? Dogs invade people's privacy all the time. If this dog right here goes into a restaurant where people are eating, it's going to be running around begging for stuff, running its big slobbery nose up into people's crotches and stuff. So all this stuff about we can't invade a person's privacy. Well, dogs invade people's privacy all the time.
business owners can ask 2 questions.
What is the animal trained to do?
Or,
Is that a service animal that's required because of disability?
I don't need to say I'm blind, even though it's fairly obvious. I would just say she's trained to guide me around obstacles, tell me when there's up curves, down curves, find it.
Okay, so this dog is trained because the woman is blind. But did you see what she just did? She did a little motion right there telling the dog how to act. Let's watch that again.
Me around obstacles, tell me when there's up.
Okay, so she guided the dog with her foot right there and then pointed to the dog where to go. So this isn't a service dog. This is just her pet.
Curves, down curves, find entrances and exits.
businesses can be fined and or sued if they ban any
And she just unlocked the door for herself.
kind of service animal from entry, but in certain circumstances, they can ask them to leave.
Even if
Did you see that? The dog just tried to chomp the camera. So what do you think this dog is going to do if it goes up into a place where they're serving chili? Yeah, it's going to try to eat it.
it is a legitimate service animal and it's acting up, you as a business do have the right to leave, but you don't have the right to deny access.
Listen to this lady's intensity. So if she's blind, how does she do her makeup so good? Just a question. If she's blind, how does she do her makeup so good? Go ahead and tell me that.
Without any of those things.
The owner of the bar
Okay, so you can't deny without any of those things. Well, fine. But then why are business owners not allowed to ask for those things? It's a double negative. It's cognitive dissonance. It's the narcissism of dog owners.
never got back to me, but a few days later, we saw the sign was removed. It may have just been a misunderstanding, but Chomp says with the introduction of emotional support and
Emotional support animals. They're just giving the dogs treats. You're supporting the dog's hunger for treats. That's all you're doing.
animals, she understands business owners' hesitations.
Look at these dogs. They're spazzing out to get food from this person. So what do you think they're going to do if they go up into that chili festival? They're going to be running around begging for food, running their slobbery noses up into people's faces. So how is this a service animal? This is a food begging animal.
It's unfortunate because there's a few who ruin it for everybody.
ESA
Yep, you're right. There's a few who ruin it for everybody. And the people that ruin it for everybody are the dog owners. Dog owners that will gladly throw a business under the bus for making reasonable decisions based on the presence of dogs.
Don't have the same protections under ADA law as service animals. Last year, Texas made it illegal to misrepresent your pet as a service animal.
People with disabilities just want to live a normal life like the rest of us. They want to be able to go out to eat or go to the show.
So did you notice this woman has a cell phone? It's like an Apple 22 Pro or something. If she's blind, how can she use a cell phone? Does the dog look at it and activate her apps for her?
Shows or a movie without having to defend the disability or why they need or require a service dog.
If you have a service animal or are a business owner,
A service animal, they're just talking about dogs. There is no service animal except for dogs.
needing to reference to ADA laws at the touch of your fingertips, you can download the Seeing Eye Advocacy App. So when you click on it, you can choose between looking at federal.
Okay, so you're going to look at all these apps, but the whole point of this video was that woman being legally blind. You
or
got
state laws. And if you look at some of those laws, they list all of them, including housing service and animal guidance. And it gives you the federal law right there, just in case anyone has any questions.
Did you notice they just mentioned federal law? Federal law? What's something else that federal law is all about? Oh yeah, that's right. The United States Postal Service is covered by federal law. However, United States Postal Service women are attacked by dogs on a regular basis, yet they will not do anything about it. So all of this ADA stuff and this, oh my God, we found a lawbreaker, that's a bunch of BS. Dog owners break the law all the time. They bypass the law all the time. The only time that dog owners actually care about the law is when they can use the law to impose their ridiculous habit of dog ownership on other people. So what can we do to help? I say we go to Dewey's Bar Facebook page and give them some support. It seems like a solid family kind of place. They have some interesting posts on here. Like this one here, this lady broke her leg and they're asking to go give her some support. So yeah, these guys deserve our support. They're going through their own problems. They have family members that need to learn how to cook chili. They have all kinds of cool stuff going on. And so what if a dog doesn't get to go into a bar? You know, there's plenty of stuff for dogs to do over there in Corpus Christi, Texas. Let these guys have their chili parties without dogs. I think they deserved it. I think they put the time and money into each other to deserve this type of stuff. And you might notice Corpus Christi, Texas has plenty and plenty of dog parks. So take your dog to a dog park, get something to go, and let these people have their chili cookouts without dogs. Why not? How much harm is it really going to do you to let these people have a dog-free place to eat chili and drink beer?